Welcome to the weapon demo of the game Parsector. Let it be noted that final art assets are not displayed in here, and the current art assets are not indicative of the final game. This demo is to show the different weapon types I've created so far for the game. I'll start with a quick demo of the 3 different ships and the 6 different weapon types. Then after that I'll go in and show some of the options I've coded up so you can really tweak what's going on with your weapons. So without further ado, I'll show the light ship first. I'm going to go ahead and hit play. The light ship is fast, maneuverable, small, so it can really weave in through asteroids, but it has weak shields. Its primary mode of fire is the machine gun. You can see that it has a spray radius, so the further the bullets go, the more spread out they are, so you're not as accurate. It has a high rate of fire, a low ammo burn, and somewhat low damage, so you really have to work on hazards and enemies to get them whittled down. The second mode of fire, which is the more powerful of the two, are swarm missiles. If I press the right mouse button, then the swarm missiles fire a volley of 5 missiles, and each seek out the closest target to the current player's position. The only time these missiles will miss is if they run into another object. Other than that, they're pretty much a guaranteed hit. Alright, that's the light fighter. I'm going to go ahead and bring in the medium. The medium is about all-around average, medium size, medium speed, medium shields. Its primary mode of fire is a 3-round burst laser. It has higher damage than the machine gun, but ultimately a lower fire rate. It fires like 3 shots off, like from a assault rifle or whatever. That might have been loud. Anyway, the second mode of fire is the plasma thrower. The plasma thrower is a nice short-range weapon. It has some physics involved, so you can really play around with the flames and really trail them behind you to cover a wide range. They also set on objects on fire a little bit. That is, if they survive a little bit. And that's the plasma thrower. Alright, I'm going to bring in the heavy ship and show off the last 2 weapon types. Alright. The heavy ship is slow, big, but has high shields. Its primary mode of fire are torpedoes. When they're launched, they create a pretty big explosion, and that lingers. So multiple hazards can be taken out with 1 shot. It has a slow fire rate, but with good aiming, you can take out multiple objects. Its secondary fire mode is the Nova Beam. As you can see, it takes out pretty much everything in its path. Alright. Those are the 3 different fire modes I've created so far. I'm going to quickly go through some of the components I've set up for the player. I'll demo this out on the heavy ship since it's up. The first component I have is a player script, or a mover script. It controls basically the bounds in which you can move to keep it within the playfield, and also a speed modifier right there. Alright. All of my objects are moved using rigid bodies. A capsule collider detects collision with other objects. Fire mode, if I want to be able to switch between fire modes, I have that set up here, primary, secondary. Right now I just have primary set to left click and secondary set to right click, primary and secondary. Alright, player stats can house the health and ammo and whatever other stats I may add in the future. Let's see, player destroyed by contact controls basically what happens whenever you collide with other different objects. So, you know, boundaries, objects tagged by different names like player shots. All of these are ignored, but whenever it runs into hazards, it instantiates explosions and all that good stuff. Meat and potatoes, the really interesting facet of the player is the weapon fire script. This gives me fine control over what weapons to fire. The Singularity Torpedo is mapped right here. Its primary fire rate is 1 missile every second. We're only firing 1 missile per key press, so there's no shot interval. If I brought in the light ship, you can see with the machine gun we have a high rate of fire denoted by a small time between each shot. Shot interval is none because it's spraying out 1 bullet at a time. If we bring in the medium ship, we can see that my burst laser, to get the 3-round burst, every 0.6 seconds I fire 3 shots with a 0.04 second interval between them. This allows me to have controlled 3-shot bursts. The speed of the projectile is controlled here. How much damage it does is controlled here. And how much it costs off of your ammo meter is controlled here. And same thing for the secondaries. All that custom stats that you can set there. If I go to my prefabs, I can see I have weapons. These right here are the 6 weapon types I've created. Burst laser is pretty straightforward. It has a all weapons have a shot destroy by contact script, which basically tells it what happens when it runs into other objects. Destroy on contact means if it contacts with something, then destroy the whole bullet. And I can also set the time for when it's destroyed. So a second after it hits something, I can destroy it if I wanted, for instance. I also control the graphic for whenever the shot implodes into something. Right now I just have a regular explosion for bullet impacts. And the burst laser script is pretty straightforward. Let me open up mine and develop. It basically is controls the rigid body velocity of the game object. Nothing too special here. Alright. My Hive missile is is more involved than probably any of the other missiles. Right now I can set the search angle, basically how much of a field of radius up and down will it search for missiles. So I can't target things that are way up here or behind me. Pretty much gives you a radius for which to target from. I can give it random values to control how it weaves in and out. I can give you an example of what it looks like in a 3D mode right quick. So I'll position the light fighter right here. Just pulling back some. And I'll position the game field right here. So if I go into the game, let's pull this out a little bit, minimize it, and press play. So I'm controlling the game here. You can notice that the missiles from the 3D mode swarm around, and the magnitude of which they swarm is denoted by let's pause this and get back to my Hive missile. It's denoted by these values here. I can set the time random, basically tweaks how many times it changes direction, and give it a smoke trail right here. Right now the stand-in graphic for it is just a regular capsule. And again, shot by destroy right there. Machine gun is almost like the burst laser, except the script has a let's see, let me open up machine gun. It has a spray angle right here, and every time it's instantiated it picks a random range between the values you set right here. So every time one's instantiated, it's going to be pointing at a slightly different angle. That gives it the random spray ability. Plasma thrower is a nice little setup I have going on here. Let's go and pick it. It's pretty crazy the way I got it working. Right now it instantiates a plasma flume, which is basically the particle system that shoots out the fire. Let's put on a loop so you can kind of see. Right now it just kind of shoots out a puff, but if you crank up the fire rate on it, it shoots a continuous stream of fire out. Let's go ahead and get that out. And the colliders, it also launches out spherical colliders that have a sphere collider, and it grows the radius over time to kind of match the skinny part of the plasma plume that grows over time. If I go on and turn on the mesh renderer, and let's bring in my medium ship real quick, we can kind of see how the colliders are working. Right now the objects don't scale, so it kind of just looks like these regular spheres, but the radius of the capsule collider is what's growing. So if I get up close to here, then we don't really destroy the object till it gets close, but farther out it can get hit there. So you'll notice I just have this trail of rapidly spawning spheres with colliders on them. That's what gives me that really good tracking for the particle system I have going on with it. Alright, let's pull out the heavy ship while we're at it. Let's go to our weapon prefabs, which is Singularity Torpedo. It's got some cool things going on with it. Right now I can basically control how long the blast duration lasts, and I also have the blast collider. Right here is just the capsule of the actual missile itself. It has its own collider on it. Whenever this collider of this capsule hits something, it instantiates a blast collider and a blast graphic. You can see the collider right here. It's basically just instantiates a sphere that encompasses a wide area, and the effects of the torpedo blast can be seen right here. Alright, so nothing too crazy going on with the torpedo. The Nova beam is kind of neat. Its script is kind of dependent on the collider that comes with the beam. Let me go here. Basically I have a charge up and Nova beam particle system to give it the effect, and I have a collider object, which is basically a long, I'll go in and turn on the mesh renderer for the beam, and we can see it in work here. That gray box that spawns with it is basically the collider, and like the flamethrower, I control the collider over time, and I do this by setting a start delay that corresponds to if the box collider is enabled or not. So Nova beam start delay plus this value right here dictates whenever that box collider on the Nova beam becomes active and starts destroying stuff for you. So that's a quick brief overview of how I got some of my weapons working. If you have any suggestions or comments, you're definitely welcome to voice them if you think I can do it a little bit better, or if you want to steal some of my ideas, you can. Anyway, thanks for watching, and it's been real fun. This is my first real game I've programmed, so it's been a nice little learning experience, and I'm getting good results. Thanks for watching.